Hey guys, I'm Chris Buck and a very warm welcome to Friday Fretworks, and this week we're taking a look at the Fender Acoustasonic Stratocaster. Is it worth the hype? Now that the dust has begun to settle from the release of the Acoustasonic Jazzmaster last month, obviously that guitar made a hell of a splash to say the least, I thought now would be a good opportunity to take a little bit more of an objective look at the Acoustasonic Stratocaster. It's kind of somewhat forgotten brother at this point. I've actually had this guitar for a good amount of time now, and consequently I've had a chance to really put it through its paces in a variety of different scenarios, say for an actual live gig for obvious reasons, and try and get to the bottom of its strengths, its weaknesses, and ultimately I guess its overall purpose. Now, Fender have actually billed the Acoustasonic series as the most versatile guitars they have ever made, but if comments on social media are anything to go by, they still do seem to be dogged by a little bit of a perception that they are more gimmick than great. So why is this? Now, caveat emptor, I'm indeed a Fender artist, so if you choose to take all of this with a pinch of salt, then that is entirely your prerogative. But I also wanted to say that this video is not going to be a kind of in-depth run-through of every sound available in the guitar. There are 1,000,001 videos out there that do that very well already. But I don't really think it's reflective of the guitar in its best light. So what is the Acoustasonic's best light? So first and foremost, what is the Acoustasonic? Now, in case you missed either the Telecaster, the Stratocaster, or more recently, of course, the Jazzmaster, the Acoustasonic is billed as a hybrid acoustic electric guitar. Its acoustic sounds courtesy of a Fishman acoustic engine built into the guitar, and its electric sounds, in the Stratocaster's case, courtesy of a noiseless single coil in the bridge position. Now, it would be disingenuous of me to talk about the Acoustasonic without saying that as impressive as its acoustic sounds are, and the array and the quality of those sounds truly is incredibly impressive, I'm not a fan of the sound of an acoustic guitar plugged in, but I'm far from unique in that case. My main acoustic guitar is an Alvarez OM70 fitted with an LR Baggs lyric system, which is purposely designed for people like me that, whilst not liking the sound of an acoustic guitar plugged in using a traditional pickup method, still need the practicality of being able to use it live and plug it in on a relatively high volume stage. Now, the Acoustasonic, thanks to its Fishman acoustic engine, features an incredibly impressive array of acoustic models, basically, ranging from dreadnoughts to smaller body acoustics, all operable by the selector switch and the bottom, what you would ordinarily think of as a tone control, but is in this case a mod knob. You can kind of blend between various acoustic models using that control. Ultimately, though, there is no getting around the fact that, to me at least, they all sound like acoustic guitars plugged in, which I guess is because it is an acoustic guitar plugged in. But frankly, that's a very small sacrifice to make, given the versatility of the guitar and the fact that it is essentially an acoustic guitar that plays as effortlessly as a normal Stratocaster. Ironically, the one element which, for me at least, I feel lets the Acoustasonic Stratocaster down is the one thing that, given its form factor, you would probably think would be a dead certainty, and that is its electric pickup. Not the pickup itself, which sounds fantastic, but its positioning and its lack of a tone control. Ultimately, it sounds like what it is, a Stratocaster bridge pickup. That can obviously be a fairly biting sound at the best of times, which then, coupled with the acoustic strings and the natural resonance of the acoustic guitar, you do have a sound that could be, or at least have the potential to be, Marmite. I really do feel that instead of the mod knob, which in this case, when you are on the electric pickup, serves to introduce a little bit more overdrive, probably would have been better served as an overall tone control for that pickup. That said, in much the same way I did in the jam at the start of this video, it's a very simple solution to simply run an A-B switcher to dictate the path of your Acoustasonic. What I mean by that is the acoustic sounds you heard were simply using the Fishman acoustic engine, running direct into Logic with just a touch of compression and reverb added. When it came to the electric sounds, kicked in the switcher, which rerouted into a separate channel on my interface, and then thus a separate channel within Logic, running Guitar Rig, obviously running amp, cabs, effects, etc., to give me total control over the sound of that fairly bright pickup. Given the Acoustasonic strikes me as a guitar that is kind of a Swiss Army knife for maybe a sideman or a session guy, you could maybe make a case that it deserves two output jacks, one for the acoustic sounds and one for the electric, maybe with a switch on the guitar to then control it. But given it is so easy to do that with an A-B switcher, I guess it probably could be considered overkill. So is the Acoustasonic worth the hype? Now, obviously that question is going to have a very different answer for different people, depending on your opinion, your experience, your needs, or your criteria. But I would say that, given the versatility of the guitar, the quality and the array of acoustic sounds built into it, even if I'm not necessarily a fan of them myself, but as I said, that's not unique to the Acoustasonic at all, just the sound of acoustic plugged-in guitars in general, I would say it's an incredibly impressive accomplishment from Fender. Now, it would be disingenuous of me to say, after having moaned about the need for a 9-volt battery in my Clapton Strat last week, it's worth pointing out that you do need to charge this guitar. It takes 4 to 5 hours to charge, but then will last for 20 hours. Obviously, that won't be a problem, providing you do remember to charge the guitar. I do think the lack of a tone control for the bridge pickup was a bit of an oversight, but I guess you can mitigate that brightness, at least to a certain degree, by simply setting your amps and pedals accordingly, even more so if you're running separate signal paths for your acoustic and electric sounds. Obviously, it's not cheap at the best part of £1,800, but if you need to cover very convincing sounding acoustic sounds and electric sounds all within the course of one song, it is a very good solution. Obviously, anything that tries to be all things to all men will inevitably have to compromise in certain respects. Is it going to replace your Strats or your Martin D45? Absolutely not, but it's not really meant to. And honestly, if the only other alternative is using one of these, then I know which one I would choose. As ever, I'm Chris Buck, you're watching Friday Fretworks. Thank you very much for watching. No Friday Fretworks next week, it's worth saying, but something very cool coming in its place, so definitely check that out. And I shall see you the week after for another episode of Friday Fretworks. Cheers guys, take care, I'll see you soon.